This is Boxonic, and today, we're diving into the chaos as Canelo and Crawford trade fire before the biggest fight of the year. Verbal shots, knockout promises, and Saudi pressure, it's all going down.
For sure, them belts coming with me. They coming home with me. I'm telling you right now.
You can see it, but it's gonna be difficult. You take it to your
I'm
mom.
taking them, and ain't nothing you gonna be able to do about it. Come fight
And
night.
I know Turki's in your corner,
I promise you.
but look, it's gonna be very difficult. He's gonna be so mad that day. Believe me.
They said it'd be all class, but the moment the cameras rolled, Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez went off script. That no trash talk promise. Gone. The press conference exploded into a heated war of words.
We are true fighters.
Yeah, true fighters, but
True fighters.
true, yeah. No, not YouTuber fight.
Huh?
Not YouTuber fight. Yeah.
They need to talk and talk about fight because they want to say something. The people know we are great fighters. They want to put a great fight.
Yeah.
We don't need to talk.
I am sure in the end in the mid of
Respect flew out the window, as both fighters traded savage insults like bitter rivals, and if you guessed Crawford fired the first shot, it'd be absolutely right.
I see you. I see you. You see I'm
I
different.
see you too.
You see I'm
I see
different than all the other ones.
No, I see you. No, you don't know different. You're nothing different.
I'm different.
Nothing different.
I'm different.
We'll see.
You gonna see. You
We'll
know
see.
it.
We'll see.
Marketed as the fight of the century, the stakes are massive. But Canelo couldn't care less about Crawford jumping up weight classes. He once shrugged off the challenge, saying there's no glory in beating a former lightweight. Asked if losing would hurt his legacy, Canelo coolly replied, "He's not beating me. Don't worry. He's not. This fight is already part of boxing history."
He's not gonna beat me. Don't worry about it. He's not gonna beat me. Don't worry about it. I think this fight is gonna be in the books of the history of boxing for sure. That's for sure.
Canelo didn't hold back either. "He's good, but I'm better," he declared. "People focus on my power, but I've got it all." At 34, 3 years younger than Crawford, Canelo is expected to pass the torch. But with 11 world titles and 67 fights, he's still very much the king of the ring.
Streets, you and Canelo, what would it look like?
Come on, man. Yeah, I know what I do. I ain't got to talk about it on the streets. Me against anybody. I ain't never gonna say another man gonna whoop me. So you know what I mean. That's your answer right there.
I guess in Guadalajara, you think it'd be a little different on the streets if Terence came to town?
I think every city, every place is different, no? It's different. But we don't talking about the streets. We're talking about boxing, the beautiful sport of boxing. So that's different, way different than the...
Crawford isn't just chasing greatness, he's making history. With 19 straight world title fights and 2-division undisputed status, he's now aiming for a third. He gave a nod to Claressa Shields for doing it first, but made his intent clear. "I'm taking those belts, and nobody can stop me. Watch me."
However I gotta fight, I'm gonna win. Simple as that. I'm not gonna let somebody else force me or tell me how to fight when I've been fighting my whole life. You know, I won't be running. You know, I could tell you that. But I will be, you know, doing a lot of touching.
Get me wrong. He's a great fighter, like I say, he's not gonna...
Canelo turned pro at 15 in 2005. Crawford entered the game at 20 in 2008. Now, backed by a wave of supporters, Crawford's finally got the matchup he craved. "I called out Canelo. He's the last name standing from the Mayweather-Pacquiao and De La Hoya days. He got the big fights I didn't. This is my moment."
I'm very excited, motivated, because this is all about. I want to make history, and I'm very excited for this fight. He's not gonna beat me. Don't worry about it. He's not gonna beat me. Don't worry about it. I think this fight is gonna.
Canelo is now the face of Netflix boxing, headlining in Vegas's billion-dollar stadium. But Crawford didn't flinch. "Canelo can't beat me in or out the ring. You know my game. And I'm not talking street stuff." Canelo snapped back. "Forget the streets. This is boxing. We are doing it for real."
So, However they rate me, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, we got to fight, and I'm going to win the fight. It's simple as that.
Can I ask you about if there's any rematch clause with this fight with Canelo?
No, it's not.
Is that something you push for?
No, I didn't.
And there's any weight restrictions to the fight at all?
After the fiery back and forth, host Todd Grisham stepped in and asked about their mental game. Crawford didn't blink. He's not counting on the judges. All I can do is dominate in the ring, and that's what I plan to do. Canelo's tough, no doubt, but anyone can fall. I rise in big moments. This one's mine.
Fighters would like to put on a weight restriction to this type of fight. Why didn't you want to do that?
Because I want him at his best. I don't want no excuses. I don't want no, reasons why, he didn't feel good or anything. I want him at his best.
Canelo's been in with giants and smaller speedsters. He's not phased. Now facing an undefeated two-division, undisputed champ, he's all business. I've handled this before, Canelo said. Size means nothing. I'm here to beat the best. I don't just feed, I win. Netflix, Turkey, they helped make history. Now I'll finish it.
You say from memory that you first thought this fight was a real possibility, that you started thinking about this fight actually happening?
Well, I started thinking about it, a couple of years ago when they started talking about Spence fighting Canelo. Then just, sizing him up like, all right, how tall is he? How long his arms and things like that. Just sizing him up like that and going to his fights and things like.
With Fight Night near, both addressed the fans one last time. Canelo kept it real. I always bring the fight. Thanks for riding with me. Be in the arena or tune in, you'll see me get that win. Crawford sent a message too. Suit up. We're coming for more gold. This is a major night for the sport.
Of experts, I think Canelo's not the same fighter. His punch output's a lot less. What do you think, considering, the last 12 months or so? Is he the same fighter he was maybe a few years ago?
I think he is. I just think, he just wasn't up for the skull fight. And I think, different fighters bring different, energies out of other fighters.
A lot of people are judging you on the Madrimov fight, saying you struggled moving up in weight. You're going further up in weight. And they're saying that's going to go against you based on the Madrimov fight. How do you
Crawford's aiming to be the first male boxer to go undisputed in 3 weight classes, and he's dead serious. The showdown goes down in Vegas's Allegiant Stadium, packing 65,000 fans. It's also UFC boss Dana White's debut in boxing promotion. This isn't just a fight, it's a full-on boxing revolution.
Oscar De La Hoya wastes my time with this question.
Yeah, we saw Oscar De La Hoya trying to say that the fight was going to take place maybe in the daytime.
Yeah, this is what I want from you, to say his name. I decide with Dana White to have a breakfast in MGM at 10 a.m. inshallah. Then we will go to the arena to have the fights quick.
For 18 months, Saudi Arabia's General Entertainment Authority has poured money into boxing, but its chief rarely shows up ringside. That changed at this press conference. Turki Alalshikh came in hot, blasting fighters for dull Tom and Jerry matchups and demanding chaos, blood, knockouts, and fireworks. As the 3-city tour kicked off in Vegas and New York, he stole the spotlight. Reporters swarmed him with questions while Canelo and Crawford sat silent. It took 25 minutes before either said a word. Saudi Arabia claims its sports push is about economic reform, but critics call it sports washing. Whatever the truth, Alalshikh is driving the sport forward, with Netflix, mega events, and a bold new promotion strategy. One thing's clear, Saudi boxing's rise is real, and he's the one flipping the switch.
Dinner to Carbon, and in the night we will watch Conjuring because it will launch in September. You waste... Oscar De La Hoya wastes my time with this question. Of course, it is in the peak. This is the boxing, the sport number 1 in the world. This is Canelo and Crawford.
Meet Turki Alalshikh, KK His Excellency, the man pulling the strings behind Saudi boxing's global takeover. He's got oil-rich backing and a no-nonsense attitude. I hate Tom and Jerry-style boxing, he growled, slamming fighters who run to survive. I want blood, I want broken faces. That's real boxing. He didn't spell out consequences, but the warning was loud. Bring action or face backlash. At the Riyadh face-off, Crawford stood unfazed across from Canelo, ready for their super middleweight war in September. Canelo's last bout, a dull points win over William Skull, didn't thrill the crowd. Fans booed as Skull ran, and Canelo didn't press the issue. That was fight 1 of his Saudi contract, and patience is already wearing thin. This fight isn't just sport, it's power, politics, and high-stakes pressure.
I want to speak to you about some of Turki's comments. He said he doesn't want Tom and Jerry, people running away in the ring. What did you make of that?
I agree with that. You know, people want to see a good fight. And I agree with that.
Do you think
Turki Alalshikh, because, you know, people come and spend money to see a great fight, and if the other fighter come and run all the night and don't make a good fight, this
is what I want from you to say his name. I decided with Dana White to have a breakfast in MGM at 10 a.m. inshallah. Then we will go to the arena to have the fights quick. And after that, we will go dinner to on, and in the night we will watch Conjuring because it will launch in September. You waste.
At 37, Crawford is jumping up to full weight classes 14 pounds to clash with Canelo at super middleweight. If he stands and trades, fans will erupt, maybe giving Alalshikh the bloodbath he craves. But Crawford's got his own plan. "Nobody tells me how to fight," he said. "This is what I've done forever. I'm not running, but I'm gonna piece him up." Heading into his fight with Madrimov, Crawford was riding a streak of 11 straight knockouts. Canelo, 34, is calling it a historic bout, but recent showings tell another story. His fight against Skull was a snoozer, no big moments, just a safe W, winnings all that matters. Canelo said, but if he'd listened to Alalshikh during dinner or the presser, he'd know fans and His Excellency want fireworks, not just a win. Australia's Tazzy Brown from Fights.com credited Alalshikh with bringing boxing back to life and asked if this fight could live up to Marvin Hagler's legendary wars. Canelo liked the comparison. But let's be real, he hasn't scored a knockout since stopping Caleb Plant in 2021. Maybe Alalshikh will remind him of that before fight night. The press conference ended with an intense stare-down, all eyes locked on Canelo and Crawford as they prepare for their September 13th Vegas showdown for the undisputed super middleweight crown.
You heard His Excellency saying no more Tom and Jerry, no more running, but you're moving up 2 weight classes. It's not going to be smart for you to stand there and hammer it out with this guy. So how do you kind of balance that, not running, but being elusive in fighting Canelo?
However I gotta fight, I'm gonna win. Simple as that. I'm not gonna let somebody else force me or tell me how to fight, and when I've been fighting my whole life. You know, I won't be running.
In a boxing social sit-down, Shane Mosley was asked the million-dollar question, can Crawford actually beat Canelo? Mosley didn't exactly sound sold. "I can't see it," he said flat out. "Canelo's got skills too, it's not like Crawford's the only one with talent." He continued, "If this was at 154 and Canelo was still his prime version, I'd maybe see it. But at 168, I just don't think Crawford can pull it off."
Your Excellency, Tazzy Brown from Australia, FightHub.com. First of all, congratulations for everything you've done for boxing since you've come into the game. You've gave us many great fights, and you continue with Your Excellency to keep giving us greater fights. You're a boxing historian yourself. Do you think this fight resembles Marvin Hagler Sugar in the 80s? The fact that Canelo and Terence Crawford are the 2 great pound-for-pound legends, both.
Canelo's been the king of super middleweight since 2018, when he stepped up from middleweight and never looked back. He's already handled names like Gennady Golovkin, Jermall Charlo, and Jaime Munguia while holding the division's top spot. But if Crawford pulls this off, the undefeated 37-year-old won't just walk away with titles. He'll etch his name in history. He'd be the first male boxer to go undisputed in 3 divisions. That's more than legacy, that's a message. To every boxing great who's ever laced up, that's it for now. Stick with us for more breaking updates on boxing's biggest event.
I think Canelo's too big for Crawford. I think that the reason why, if Crawford was a mover like the rest of us, then maybe he can have a good chance with Canelo. But that I think that being that Crawford is a fighter, that's gonna be dangerous. That's gonna be his problem. He's a fighter. He wants to fight. He's gonna move a little bit, but his heart is not in moving. So he's gonna have to sit there and fight with Canelo. And if you sit there and fight with Canelo, and he's that much bigger than you, then I don't know.